I had a great teacher in my life. I was studying early to be a Jungian analyst, Carl Jung. And he said this, and I had to ask you this. He said, at the same moment that you're a protagonist in your own life and you're making choices, at the very same moment, you're also the spear carrier or the extra in a much larger drama. He said, all of you are doomed to make choices. And it sounds like such a contrast. It's such it's like that's not a possibility. If you're doomed, how could you be making choices? But within our physical bodies, we're doomed. I mean, Esther showed up in a female body of a certain height and certain color hair and certain things, and I showed up in a 6'1" male body, and its hair's falling out and growing in its ears and all of the crazy things that are happening to it, and I'm just watching it. And so I know that but I also have choices to make about this body. I can feed it well, I can exercise it, I can, do so many things so I'm making choices within sort of a doomed state. But what about the other part of us, the spiritual side of us,
Well, we can see how someone who is trying to explain to someone who's not in this moment on the high-flying disc.
Right.
In other words, if someone's having a really hard time, we understand why someone would use words like doomed.
Right. Doomed, he didn't mean it in a,
Meaning unwanted choices,
right.
meaning that there are unwanted choices.
Right.
But what we have noticed is that as you have the longer and longer opportunity to sift through the details of your life, and personal preferences are born within you, that you become clearer and clearer about who you are and what you want. And then that's usually when we begin meeting our physical friends, because they're usually at the point where they know that they want to believe that they are the creator of their own reality. They just don't know how to go about it. This is a new conversation that we are having recently, because we so much want our physical friends to understand that you come as non-physical energy to explore contrast more than you would. In other words, in your physical body, you explore the contrast more than we do from our non-physical vantage point. And out of that comes more detail, more improvement about this physical time-space reality. The evolution of all species is dependent upon that contrasted experience. But when humans explore contrast and then want to compare manifestations, these are good manifestations, these are bad manifestations, these are manifestations that we want you to pursue, these are manifestations that we don't want you to pursue, and we need to come to some form of agreement which defies the intention that you all held when you came into your physical form. Then you just become shortage consciousness. Then you just become sort of fighting over the spoils rather than tapping into the energy that creates worlds and really loving the life that you've come to live. So we get it that from a place of not feeling good, that you could measure all kinds of not feeling good and separate it into all kinds of distinct categories. But we would like you to just for a little while accept that you are vibration, accept that you are source energy in physical bodies, accept that you are offering a vibration and that vibration is being responded to by law of attraction. Accept that you can feel the opinion of source and the opinion of your vibration, of your focused consciousness in every moment and every day. And that you can bring yourself back online with who you really are and what you came to live. Now that sounds a little bit like you're a puppet on a string and that source energy has already defined what you're supposed to live. And that isn't what we mean at all. Because all this sifting and sorting has caused you to expand, and your inner being has become the equivalent, the vibrational equivalent of all of that expansion. So there is nothing that you have lived that the larger part of you has not become. And when you care about the way you feel, now you can become it here and now. And when you do, the first thing you feel is clarity. Clarity about which way to go. Clarity about whether to do this or not. Clarity about whether to have this conversation. Clarity about whether to go that way or that way. Clarity about whether to invest with that, whether to marry that. Clarity, because broader perspective knows who you are, knows everything about you, and is offering a very strong, very clear opinion. But you got to practice tuning into it if you want that kind of guidance. And the alternative is really miserable, because your physical friends are all wanting different things from you. You say, go this way, go this way, go this way, go this way, go this way.
If you're off that path, if you know that you have a dharma, you have a destiny, there's something, I don't know, you're a great artist. For me, it was a teacher. For me, it was a writer. For me, it was these are things that
For you, it is an uplifter. For you, it is a keeper of the light, so that others may find it.
But when I got off that path, when I would get away from it, some of the most profound changes in my life came when I was at those lowest places in my life.
Because when you don't know what you do want until you know what you don't want. And some of that contrast launches some really big rockets. And it puts you in touch with your emotional guidance system so that you can tell when you're on and when you're off.
Is this source energy, whatever it's like, you're programmed, if you will, or whatever it is, that you have something that you're to accomplish here, in this time.
It's not like that.
I know accomplish isn't the right word, but it's like
you have come for freedom, growth, and joy.
And when you're away from that, when you're on a path that's taking you away from freedom, from joy,
that
from love,
sucks.
Yeah. But does divine guidance come into your life at that time and say, okay?
No, divine guidance is into your life all the time. All the time, all the time. Divine guidance never goes away. It's just that the contrast makes you listen more.
Yeah. I listened to
Esther has found alignment that she never knew was there for her because of the discomfort she felt in Jerry making his transition.
Right.
Didn't even know it was possible. Miserable at first, worth it now.
Yeah. I was being interviewed by the New York Times, and Arthur Miller was there. And Arthur Miller was a great American playwright. Most of you know the Death of a Salesman, The Crucible, and so on. He was 91 years old. And he was asked the question by the interviewer, are you working on another play? I was 91 years old. And he said, and I've never forgotten this because it really resonated with me. He said, I don't know, but I probably am. Meaning, I think that there's something else moving these checkers around in this checker game that we're playing.
Here's the thing, and then we'll take a segment of refreshment. You have been asking, and you've put your preferences into a vibrational reality that you are not cashing in yet. So, yes, he's going to write another play. It's already there. Yeah. And when he stops talking about how tired he is and stops fussing over how incorrectly they handle his material and gets a good night's sleep, he'll wake up with an impression or an inspiration, and off he'll go again.
Exactly what I did with this last book. The date on June the 26th, I announced to my kids that I'm not writing any more books. I'm done writing. I've done enough. I don't have to prove myself. I've done 40 books and so on. June 27th, I woke up and I was writing, and 5 months I wrote morning, noon, and night until I put my neck out of joint. I mean, I could not stop the writing.
You just have to accept that your vortex has enough content in it to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. And as long as you're having fun, then isn't that the point?
Yeah, it was fun. It was just great joy.
Really good.
Great joy, as it is to be with you.
We are enjoying this immensely. Really good time for a segment of refreshment.